back to Joe Flacco, who, let's be honest, a couple of years ago, we probably would have thought Joe Flacco would be on the golf course right now instead of signing on for another season at age 40. What does it tell you? What do you anticipate in Cleveland?
So this, to me, the signing of Joe Flacco for $4 million, actually $3 million is kind of the real deal. That's the guaranteed portion of it. It's basically like the Giants signing Russell Wilson, right? Which is like, and the Giants signed Russell Wilson, and it was immediately known, all right, hang on. They have a quarterback, but it's not like this guy's in place of any other quarterback. So might they still draft one? Maybe. It just means they don't have to take one if they don't want to. I would say the exact same for the Cleveland Browns, right? I mean, they now have Kenny Pickett. They have Joe Flacco. Also have Deshaun Watson, who we know is not going to play for them. But, like, they have a quarterback room now, and that's basically it. To me, this doesn't mean they're not going to draft a quarterback somewhere. Like, if the right quarterback is there at the top of the second round or early in the first round, or even if it's at 2, which sort of it looking increasingly less likely, but who knows, they could take one without having to reach. That's what this kind of means. It's like you'd like to go into the draft knowing that you could field a team right now, and at least the Cleveland Browns can field a team. I would say the only thing where it sort of really, really, really matters is maybe they don't trade for Kirk Cousins now. And, like, I thought they were one of the teams that might end up doing it. This sort of takes that place. So it's really like, what does it mean for Kirk Cousins rather than, like, what does it mean for the Browns? Because to me, it's the Browns, like, okay, they got a veteran quarterback. Fine, he's probably the backup.
Well, and part of what I said off the top was this also signals to me.
And obviously, I was watching the top as you were speaking.
The Browns, yes, while trying to log in on your iPad to watch the golf tournament where I'm currently watching, I think, highlights from yesterday. Well, part of what I said, though, was this also signals to me the Browns are unconvinced that the Falcons are actually going to trade Kirk Cousins for a reasonable price. If you think that they're going to eventually move him, accept most of the salary, not make the new team take on a huge chunk of that 27.5 this year, and not demand a higher end mid-round pick, maybe you wait a little bit longer. But if you get the sense, like, we don't know if this is ever even going to be possible, then all right, bring in Flacco for $4 million, who's also, I mean, the Giants brought in Jameis as well. So now, just like they got Jameis and Russ, the Browns have Pickett and Flacco, which, if all else fails and whatever you're going to do draft-wise for a quarterback doesn't work out, or if that does not come back to you, at least you've got two guys who you've seen function in an NFL game.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me, like, look, anything is possible. And if the Falcons really do want to give away Kirk Cousins, which I don't know why you would, but if they really do want to give away Kirk Cousins, like, I guess it could be the Browns, but to me, like, if you sign a 40-year-old Joe Flacco, that's probably your veteran quarterback, not being paid a lot of money, who will kind of stand there and take some reps and maybe protect you in a game or two, but that's probably it. Like, you don't need Kirk Cousins for that, especially the Kirk Cousins, the way he looked, down the stretch last year, whether or not he had a shoulder injury or not. The Falcons have either created the greatest bluff of all time, where they have told everyone from the minute they benched Kirk Cousins that they were planning on keeping him, that was their goal, that yes, things could change theoretically, but their plan was to keep him as their backup, and everyone rolled their eyes publicly or privately, and they've basically just done everything they've said. And so the Falcons demanding a lot, to pay a X portion of salary, not a small amount, or maybe say a mid-round pick for Kirk Cousins, that to me means they're saying, for real this time, this guy's probably our backup. And if Cousins is their backup, they shouldn't give him away. Why would you? They've already paid so much of it. He's not going to, like, tear the place apart. Will he be at off-season stuff? Like, probably not. Okay, whatever. I think that's expected. But he's at least a quarterback who can go out there and hold it down for a couple of games, which really is all you want is from a backup quarterback.
Well, the argument, and I'm with you, that's not really in Kirk's nature to, create huge issues behind the scenes. But, the argument would be the moment that Michael Penix would struggle in the season, you're going to have people going, Kirk's healthy now. Presumably Kirk would play in the preseason, so people would see maybe he looks healthier.
Probably.
And then are you getting people? Are you having locker room issues? Are you hearing it from fans? Are you hearing it from the media? Like, that would be, the Patriots just trade away Joe Milton.
I was just going to say.
Because they don't want to have people doing that to Drake May. It's a different situation because Kirk's older, but there is something to be said for that.
Unless they think there's no threat. which again, you watch Cousins at the end of last year. If he wasn't injured, then it looks like it's probably heading down the back nine of his career. If he was injured, then he's primed for a bounce back year and will be the Joe Flacco from whenever that was when the Browns went to the playoffs 3 years ago, right? So I guess it really depends on Cousins' health situation, but like for a backup quarterback, all you really want is for someone to be able to go in there in a couple games and make you okay, give you a chance to win. Even if he causes some stuff in the locker room, which I don't really think he's going to, like, you know, I think Penix is talented enough where like guys in the locker room, like by the end of last year or by the middle of last year before the Cousins benching became official, like the players knew, like they all knew. So I don't foresee that issue. But even if there was a little bit of that, it's just important enough to have a backup that keeps you in games.